Good morning. Good morning. Happy Monday, 30th of March. How the heck are you? And apologies, I wasn't here last week. I had awful cold. In fact, my voice still isn't quite back to its dulcet tones, but getting there and feeling better. Thank you for asking. So I thought today, in today's live, because if you haven't joined me before, hello, I'm Karen. I'm a social media trainer, all-round social media geek. I teach people to use Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook, to get more clients easier and faster using social media. So today I wanted to, in my Monday musings, because I won't be here next week, because yay, long weekend coming up, I want to talk to you about the end of the first quarter. Yes, it is fast approaching. So what I'm going to be doing with my lovely clients today, so the members of my two memberships, I have two memberships, one for women in business who are overwhelmed by social media, and one for trainers and coaches who just need to learn in a slightly different way. One of the things I'm going to be asking them all today is to look at their numbers to see what content has worked, not worked, driven engagement, has attracted more people to your profile. Because what we need to do is to ensure that people are finding us, that our profile is relevant for our audience. And this is so key. So one of the things that I want to talk to you about today is, do you look at your numbers? Do you actually look at your analytics? Now, LinkedIn, which is probably my favorite platform, gives us quite a lot of data, but not quite as much as Meta does. So I thought we'd hop over live, and this is just something I'm going to share with you. Let's just screen share. And if you find this helpful, and if you're struggling with any element of this, do get in touch. I'm happy to jump on a quick call. So if you haven't looked at your analytics and tools before, they are here in your profile. You go down to analytics. So we've got post impressions. And if we click on this, we can see our content performance. So that's on 7 days. And I would never look at something over a period of time as short as that. In fact, they've changed this in the last week. I would usually suggest 90 days. So let's have a look. So post impressions is up 45% versus the previous 90 days. What I'm actually also and more interested in is engagement. So engagement's up 29%. So that's a really nice number. And then we can see what engagement we've had. And we can also see the top performing posts. So bit of completely different ones. So this was just a photograph taken at my networking group that I go to every Thursday. This was a bit of fun I was having with ChatGPT. And then this was talking about the situation with people looking for jobs. So you can see wildly varied what works, doesn't work. Really interesting that it varies enormously what works, doesn't work. And I promise you the same will be the case on Instagram and Facebook. So take some time to have a look at what's driven the most engagement, what's driven the most comments, what has attracted your audience to your profile, and what's kept them there. But on a bigger picture, I would also urge you to review your other activities, your visibility pieces, because as much as I love social media, excuse me, quick slurp of coffee. As much as I love social media, it isn't a one size fits all. There are more things that we need to do to raise awareness of who we are, what we offer, and how we support them. So I've already touched on one of mine, which is networking. I also do email marketing. I'm also speak at different events. So thinking about different things, and of course, websites. So when did you last sorry, my hair's having a funny moment today. When did you last update your website? or even look at your Google Analytics data. Now, that's not something I steer clear of Google Analytics, but I know lots of people who can help you with that. So when you're looking at your return on investment of time online, whatever you're doing to raise awareness of your business, it has to start with looking at the numbers. Make sure you're checking your numbers and take it from there. It's really important, because if you're not, it's a bit like the definition of crazy, is doing the same thing again and again and expecting different results. We need to ensure that we are checking where we're at, moving forward, checking where we're at, moving forward. And if need be, we are going to then look at changing direction. So for example, within my membership, so these are people who are paying to be part of my world. I know that I've only got about 50% open rate, and these people who are spending to be as part of my community. So I just said to them the other day in the WhatsApp chat, would you rather I just sent you an email once a month and just kept you updated on WhatsApp? And said, yeah, I'd much rather do that. So evaluate and do the same with your business model. Whatever type of business you is, I have lots of different types of people join me on these lives. But evaluate, look at where you're at now. Where do you want to be by the end of June? And that's what I'm actually working on for my business today. So a few top tips for you. As ever, hop over onto my LinkedIn profile, connect with me, drop me a DM, or join me over on Facebook if that's your preferred platform. Take care, and I'll see you 2 weeks today.